I'm Mathew Healey and I'm one of Bates Wells Braithwaite's in-house trademark attorneys. Choosing a new name is a major step for any charity, and it's vital that the name you choose works from a communications point of view. But you also need to make sure that the approach you take doesn't expose you legally. I wanted by this video to set out a possible best practice approach you could follow to make sure that your rebrand doesn't fall foul of trademarks law. 1. Make sure your name is distinctive. You'll want to be sure that the brand you choose is distinctive. Branding or marketing experts will tell you that the new name needs to stand out from the crowd. But that isn't just a communications issue. Chunks of ordinary descriptive English can be really difficult to protect under trademark law. Some of the best names are those which convey a message about what your charity does, but are not directly descriptive. Good examples are Rethink Mental Illness, Breakthrough Breast Cancer, or World Vision. 2. Start with a shortlist. Once you've got a name you're happy with, it's vital that you check that you're not stepping on anyone else's toes. If someone else has rights, not just in the same name, but possibly in a confusingly similar one, they could block you from using that name. Now, the charity sector is a crowded one, so putting all your eggs in one basket is risky. We recommend starting with a short list of possible names that you might want to adopt. One approach that we think works well is to start by running basic preliminary searches against the shortlisted names, just looking for obvious conflicts. Our experience is that this is likely to knock out maybe half of the names on the initial shortlist, leaving you with a more concise list of names to work with. 3. Carry out a fuller search. Once you've performed the preliminary searches, you should consider carrying out more in-depth checks in respect of the names that you're left with. This should include, firstly, a fuller search of registered trademarks, looking not just for entries for the exact trademark in question, but potentially confusingly similar ones, and secondly, a search in respect of unregistered trademark rights that people may have acquired through use. So this would consist of Google searches, a search of relevant domain names, and checks on the records of the Companies House and the Charity Commission. 4. Register the new name as a trademark. Once you've established that the name is free to use, it's vital that you apply to register the name as a trademark. If you don't do this, someone else could simply come along and decide to start using the name themselves, and you might not be able to stop them. The trademarking process tends to take about 4 or 5 months, but you don't need to wait until the process is complete before you start using the name. Provided you have a clear search report and a pending application on file, you're basically good to go. 5. Is there anything else you need to think about? The answer is probably yes, and this sort of stuff is largely outside the scope of this video, but you certainly need to think about whether you change your registered name at Companies House and the Charity Commission. You need to think about registering appropriate domain names, and nowadays you also need to consider Twitter handles, Facebook pages, and so on and so forth. If you need any further help with your trademarks or your branding, don't hesitate to contact us. BWB's team of trademark attorneys is the only one in the UK specialising in helping charities, social enterprises and not-for-profits. So this is very much the core of what we do. We're always happy to have an initial conversation free of charge, and we love talking about trademarks.